A new federal lawsuit claims a St. Paul woman, Nekeya Moody, died 3 years ago from excessive police force during a mental health episode.
The Fox 9 investigators examined this case a couple years ago, and Tom Lydon is here now with details on the lawsuit. And Tom, I remember this video. It can be tough to see.
It is, Randy. We've been saying that a lot lately, and we've tried to be judicious in what we'll be showing you tonight. This all happened 3 months before George Floyd was murdered, but it bears some limited similarities. A person struggling to breathe in the prone position, and again, that questionable concept, medical diagnosis of excited delirium, that in this case became the official cause of death.
You been here before? No.
It was nearly 3 years ago that Ramsey County deputies arrived at a little Canada home where they found Nekeya Moody, a mother of 5, in the middle of a mental health crisis, convinced people were trying to kill her.
What's going on today?
Who's trying to kill me?
Who's trying to kill you?
Oh, you guys are working with me.
No. It's okay.
Yes,
Calm down.
Deputies struggled to handcuff Moody as she called out for her children.
Relax. Relax. What's your name?
Deputies placed her on her stomach in the prone position, and within seconds, Moody stopped moving.
I want to get this one hand around you. You're playing possum right now, I think.
Nearly 2 minutes later, the deputies rolled her on her side and took her pulse.
I don't know if she's playing possum or what.
I don't feel like she was playing possum at all. She was actually dying in that moment.
When Moody's sister and family saw the video, they were in disbelief that it took a full 7 minutes after she went limp before deputies or EMTs realized there was a problem. In the ambulance, Moody went into full cardiac arrest. She was taken off life support 4 days later.
Clearly she needed help. And I just feel like the way that they just jumped on her and put her on the ground, it was just excessive and just downright wrong.
Where do you think the culpability lies between the deputies on the scene and the EMS crew that shows up?
I think in many ways there's enough culpability in a moral sense to go around.
In a civil rights lawsuit filed this week, attorney Paul Bozeman with Communities United Against Police Brutality argues that she is a victim of excessive force and a failure to intervene and provide medical assistance.
What do you think are the important moments in that video that we should be looking at?
I think there are several. I think that the moment in which Officer Edicus puts pressure on the side of Ms. Moody's neck, and then she almost immediately passes out, I think that's a very important moment.
The Ramsey County medical examiner ruled Moody's death an accident and said she died from probable complications of excited delirium, recent cocaine use, and physical exertion. Excited delirium, of course, is what Minneapolis police officers would mention 3 months later before murdering George Floyd. Studies have shown it's far more likely people are dying in police custody from positional asphyxia.
That diagnosis has a very checkered past, and it almost always occurs when someone is being taken into police custody in no other way.
In the weeks before she died, St. Paul police had multiple contacts with Nekeya Moody. They knew she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar, PTSD, and was convinced people were trying to kill her. The department's mental health unit, known as COAST, tried to intervene, an officer writing that COAST has exhausted its ability to engage Moody in services. The civil lawsuit intends to get at the mistakes and moments that ended her life. But her family also wants you to remember the mother, the sister, and daughter with the infectious smile. A life that ended too soon at 37.
She was the life of the party. Every time she walked in the room, eyes were on her because she was very beautiful and gorgeous.
The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office declined to comment on the lawsuit directly, but in a statement said the extended family at the home that night told deputies their help was needed and thanked them as they were leaving. Kelsey, Randy.
And Tom, we know the Ramsey County attorney is reviewing cases that the medical examiner, Dr. Mike McGee, handled. Was this case one of those?
It's a good question. He did not do the autopsy and was no longer the chief medical examiner at the time, but he was still doing forensic pathology work for the office until his retirement 2 years ago. Short answer is we don't know, but it sounds like the attorney is prepared to make a broader argument about the culture in the medical examiner's office.
All right, we will see. All right, thank you, Tom Lydon.